This is Opie Radio. The show.
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's go. That was nice and all, but let's get back to the show.
Is that Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah, that was a nice remix. Actually, Troy did a great job with that. We got Dr. Steve in studio. We got Rob Bartlett from Don Imus' show outside the studio. He stops by when he can. You know, he's usually on this time with Imus, but they're off this week. And Rob Bartlett said, hey, man, can I come in and say hi?
He's
so
very
here he
thin.
is.
Rob Bartlett looks really thin.
Holy shit, you did lose a lot of weight, sir.
Thank you.
How much did you lose?
374 pounds.
Oh, you look good.
You're looking all right.
Looks good, don't he, Jack? No suit.
So why you keep hanging up on me? We're all human. Thank you. I've only been in radio for 27 years.
That's true. I just fixed Rob's mic.
I know, you just talked into your penis.
I know. What's wrong?
What the
Can you
fuck?
blame me?
You can finally see it. Congratulations.
Like a salmon. Thank you.
Let's order a cake for Rob Bartlett. He could see his penis. All
No,
right.
cake is not what he's...
Huh?
Yeah, it's exactly. Cake is not what we need. You're
No?
right, Joe.
You're not eating any desserts?
No.
Are you suffering?
No. I'm just, high protein.
High protein diet.
And
low carbs.
Low carbs, a little plant-based.
A little plant-based.
And a lot of alcohol on the weekends. So it's, just replace the calories.
Right.
Yeah.
You might want to get rid of the alcohol part, too.
What's the point? What's the point of living at that point?
It's true.
It's ridiculous.
You know Dr. Steve?
I'm a big fan. I mean,
I'm a big fan.
Do you have any
Oh, Mutual Admiration Society.
By the way, before we go any further, the single greatest Cosby in the business.
Thank you. I've been told that by a lot of people.
It's like, actually, for a second there, I thought he was a guest.
I try not to bring it out too much because all of a sudden people think the Bill is in studio.
You inhabit the man. It's just it's second only to your mentally challenged person who complains about Twitter.
Oh, thank you. The Twitter voice.
Yes.
It drives people insane, though.
Just about that's good.
Got to break that out every once in a while because
That's one of my favorites.
it's a little too real for some people out there.
Yeah, it was great to meet Dr. Steve. He gave me a prostate exam outside, which was nice.
Would you like one for real?
No, thanks.
He's here.
No, I know, but
He's done it many times on the show.
I realized something the last time I had it checked, and you really have to
you
like
liked
that
it too
sensation.
much?
No,
what?
for a homosexual lifestyle to work, you really have to like that sensation. And I've discovered I'm an exit only kind of guy.
Exit only guy?
Yeah.
It didn't move at all?
You
didn't spill any semen?
Nah, it's like the world's most interesting man. I don't always do anal, but when I do, I try to make sure it's a woman. I don't know.
Got any medical questions for Dr. Steve while he's here?
How do you make your penis larger?
Oh, that's a great question. And we've been dogging this story for, the whole time that we've been on the air. And so far, there is one device that has a Velcro attachment that goes under the glands and one at the base. And then it has these turnbuckles. That
so basically, you're torturing your cock in 1400.
Yes, exactly, and you're stretching it out.
You put your dick on the rack.
Exactly, and every day. Now you have to walk around with this thing, and every day you increase the turnbuckle a little bit. And what they found is after 6 months you will gain 1/4 of an inch of penis length, and what it's going to be is more narrow and less girthy. So it's really not worth
After
doing.
6 months, you're going to get 1/4 of an inch?
These people, and these.
Fuck that.
It's.
I thought you could cut the ligament and pull it out like a vacuum cord a little bit.
You can cut the ligament, the suspensor ligament of the penis.
Yeah.
But then what happens is the penis just sort of falls out of the body then, and whenever you have an erection, it will point straight down. It will never point up again.
Oh, I don't know.
But how much could he gain that way?
About a half an inch.
That's
Not
it.
worth
Yeah,
it.
half an inch, maybe an inch. It depends on how big you are, too. One thing that you'll note as you continue to lose weight, for every 35 pounds of weight that you lose, you will gain 1 inch of penis length. And it's not really a gain, you're regaining it because as you gained weight, you lost that penis length.
I have not experienced that as of yet, so I have to see my.
You got a baby penis, Rob?
I'm hung like a salmon.
Is that bad? Do you mean the size or the odor? Or do you like bears to eat it?
April Fools!
You got to do some of this for Ibis.
What, the April Fool?
Yeah, do that
he
for
would
us.
Not get it. He would definitely not get it.
Look, you're wearing a baseball hat
Fuzz! He would hate that, wouldn't he?
No, see, go.
Where's Imus at these days?
When was it funny? Yeah, he's
doing all right.
Yeah, down in Texas. Wyatt is a huge rodeo star.
Still ornery, still fucking.
He's the man. He's still the man. He
Yeah.
has not changed.
Well, I said that in a nice way. Ornery.
Yes, I know. No, I mean, I know you. It's
Yeah.
good.
Is it easy to deal with?
He's just he's the man you see on the radio.
Right.
You know?
Calls her stupid a lot.
Yeah.
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 You guys hang out off air?
Oh yeah, we we go to bars and stuff and kind of hang out.
When's the last time you had a meal with Imus? Honestly.
I don't. Maybe out at the ranch. Yeah.
How many years ago?
Oh, it's 10 years ago at least. Something like that.
Look at his hands.
We
He's
don't like to
nervous.
eat. We don't like to eat.
That's true. You really are. You're moving your hands like fucking
You're
Captain
nervous.
Queeg.
No, we had strawberries. It was all strawberries.
You're hoping we move on, I say, by your hand movements.
No, it's okay.
You're rubbing them.
My palms are itchy because
Why are they itchy?
I was smacking it in the car. On the way
Nice.
here.
Good for you, Rob. What do you got there, Dr. Steve? Is it time to break out the apparatus?
No. I brought something for Edgar, actually.
What is it?
This is artificial saliva, and it's something that we use for people who have what Edgar has, which is xerostomia. There's actually a medical term for what he has, and it can often be an autoimmune disease that attacks the salivary glands, causing a very dry mouth.
I like to lick my fingers and rub it on my face. I like the smell of dried spittle.
So they actually make artificial saliva.
Oh
so
my-
there you go.
what do you
There's
do,
a
drink it?
factory that makes it. Yeah.
How's it
You
taste?
Swish it around in your mouth.
It
I
tastes
guess
like spit?
Tastes like artificial saliva.
Ew. Well, I gotta taste this shit.
Yeah.
Here, let's do some shots.
And there's actually I thought Edgar would have appreciated the one that I was trying to get, but there's a shortage of powdered artificial saliva right now. There's a national shortage. Why there would be, I don't know. But
Really?
But I couldn't actually get that. But I thought it was interesting to have artificial saliva that was dry.
So what do you have to do? Add saliva to it in order?
Yeah.
Do they have like
you just add water?
Does it come in different flavors, like bad breath flavor or fucking oniony flavor or
It just goes
Italian dinner.
Italian dinner? Yeah. Nothing like that?
It says shake well before using. Spray in
I
mouth
just
3
ate
to
pussy
5
flavor.
times.
We keep going.
Swirl for 8 to 10 seconds, then swallow or spit out. Use as often as needed.
I'll do it. What do you spray it right in your mouth?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I spray it right in your mouth.
What does it smell like?
I don't know, but I'm worried. Doesn't smell like breath, I'm sure.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
It's water and xylitol.
well, this is a great
Oh,
bit.
xylitol. There you go.
You brought the prop in. Now we got to do something with it.
Well,
Fuck.
I just thought the idea that there's artificial saliva actually on the market was
right, here goes.
something you might not be aware of. And Edgar suffers from an actual
Here we
medical
go.
malady. Oh, he's spraying it. There you go. He's continuing to spray it.
You got to prime the pump.
How is it? I'll do some. I'll take a hit off. Oh, that's not good.
Ew, what does it taste like? Look at your faces.
Where's that come?
Got like. Well, I wouldn't know.
Why can't they make it taste all right? They could throw a little lemon or something
No,
in
it's
it.
got some kind of citric acid in it.
Like lime.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does have kind of a limey thing?
Yeah.
And does it
Your artificial saliva is lemon lime.
and what does it do? Then you just got to keep it in your mouth when you want to eat a little something?
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Swallow's not bad.
Why do you lose your saliva? What happens?
Well, there's a lot of different things that can happen. You can take medication that'll do it. There's a ton of medicines on the market, like Benadryl is the classic one that causes dry mouth. But some of the antidepressants will cause dry mouth as well.
Right.
There's
Cotton.
there's a disease called Sjogren's syndrome where you have white blood cells actually attack the salivary glands.
Ew.
And they have dry mouth and dry eyes.
Stop telling us about diseases we would have never known about.
Because automatically we think we have them.
Right.
Of
Yeah.
course.
This guy, there's a whole list of diseases I now know about because I'm friends with this guy.
Right.
The fuck? How do you know all this? Exactly. I know you went to medical
I have
school,
elephantitis of the genitals. That is a big penis.
Got it.
I have elephant mantitis of the genitals.
but it's fine.
We're getting a very good question coming in, Dr. Steve.
Okay.
We'll go to back to the Ferguson stuff in a minute. Johnny in Ohio. Johnny.
Hey, glad I could get through. I've got a serious question here. I got a problem with my bottom. After a bowel movement, I'll cleanse that area down there really well. And within 5 minutes, anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour later, it'll be dirty again, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What is that?
And what caused that? He took a big one in the ass?
Yeah, you're not using
in his past?
paper.
Did he take a big one in the ass and it broke the seal down a little bit? Dr. Steve, where are we at with this?
The problem is the way that we do anal hygiene in the United States is we use pieces of paper to just sort of mush it around. And just think about trying to take Vaseline out of a bear rug with a piece of newspaper. And, and you're just
how hairy is your ass?
Well,
exactly.
Jesus.
Why do you have people sleeping on it? Do you have your asshole by a nice fire?
This tends
people
to
drink wine on it
to people with hairy asses.
The fuck?
And even just a little bit will cause the problem. And so I have trained myself to take a dump before I get in the shower every morning, and so then
nice.
I can.
Do you ever step in it?
I can sluice out my butt crack in the water and clean it nice. Now, if you can't do that, what you could do what Bobby Kelly did, which is get a bidet. You can retrofit your toilet with a bidet, and
the slug line is for the people who can't reach.
Right. But in certain other countries, particularly France, where they use the bidet, they don't have nearly as many proctology problems as we do in the United States.
Right. So, I mean, he wants to know how you fix the problem. Like, can you get that seal a little tighter or something?
Well,
right, Johnny?
Yeah, I've done the shower thing, even after I take a shower.
He's figured that stuff out, but he wants to know if he can get it tight again.
Well, now, if it's still happening even after you take a shower or you've cleaned yourself well and then you're leaking some, you may just have a little anal leakage, and there are a couple of things that you can do.
Sounds like a great band.
Fucking hilarious.
Right.
Yeah, you fucking pecker.
You can increase the fiber in your diet, believe it or not. You think of that as a laxative, but it kind of bulks up the stools so that
you're trying to make them a little harder, right? Well, not as mushy.
Right, not as... our American diet is full of carbohydrates and low in fiber, and just increasing the fiber in your diet with a supplement like Citracel may help that. The other thing is you can do Kegel maneuvers just to tighten your asshole.
This guy isn't going to fucking
No, you can do clenches.
While you're eating Field and Stream, just clench your asshole.
No, you do it anytime there's a commercial on TV. You do 15 reps, and that'll build up the sphincter muscle in your ass. Yeah.
Did you do that?
I'm doing it right now.
I like that. Yeah. I can see that because your glasses are going up and down.
So fiber bulks up the stool?
Yes.
So how does that affect the asshole? I mean, when you're sitting then on the stool,
well,
it's not...
It kind of binds it together more so that you've got oh, sorry.
It's okay.
It's over Rob's head.
Yeah.
No. I use a lot of fiber
I answered
in diet.
I answered it seriously.
I guess. All right, Johnny, we got to move on. We're going to be taking your medical questions now.
Thank you for sharing,
Dr. Steve. Let me clear some lines for you, Dr. Steve.
I actually brought a prop here that is apropos to this discustion.
Oh. Apropos.
Yeah. So if you have,
you spell that APROP.
POS.
POSAP, apropos. Yeah. All right.
Apropos.
Beautiful. I just checked my Twitter, Jimmy. Josh really feels like he's ready for real.
Okay.
That says, I'm ready. Please, guys, give me a chance.
He wants to
I'm
help.
ready now.
All right, let's give him a shot.
All right? Are you going to explain the rules to him one more time? Hold on. Let me get him on the line.
Don't say a word, Josh.
Josh, I got to tell you, I think this is your last chance to do this whole world peace thing before 10:30.
Josh? Is his radio on?
Yeah.
I am listening.
Okay,
you're not ready because we told you got to turn down your radio. That's really important.
You tricked me last time. I'm ready.
Okay.
Here's the rules. If we hear your radio on in the background, you have 3 seconds to turn that radio off.
I'm listening on my phone here.
Okay. If you repeat yourself or if you state what species we are, we'll hang up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, go ahead. Josh? We did not hang up on Josh. What the
He's
Josh!
Oh, my God. Josh? Oh, my God. All right.
He's not playing the silent game on
No, he's not that smart. He really isn't. Josh, last chance. Going once, going twice. Josh, and that's it. All right.
We actually gave him a shot.
We
We'll
did.
do it again.
All right, Dr. Steve. So what do you got in front of you? I see some kind of crazy little, looks like some kind of weird plug.
Yeah, well, what this is if you have a lesion in your anus.
It's a lot of people.
Rob.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, I'm listening.
How would you get medicine to it? Because if you use a suppository, if you've ever used a suppository, when you push it up, it just bloops up into the rectum. And if you use a cream, you're not going to get it to the right place. So you can try to gush it around and stick your finger in, but you know the cream will just sort of work its way out of there.
So if you have a lesion in your anus.
Lesion in your anus.
That's why you have this plastic fist.
That's right.
I like the words you're using today. Gush and mush.
Yeah, good medical words.
How'd you get that through airport security?
Yeah, this went through in my luggage, but the TSA looked at it, and I got a note that they looked at my circumcision simulator too. You know, you get the little note that
with
they
the little
stick
kiss
in.
marks on the prop.
How do you explain that to one of those TSA
I just
people?
tell them. I told them downstairs at Sirius XM. I said, "You don't want to look in that box," and they were like, "Okay."
And they let you go.
Yeah, they let me go.
That's
So
great.
anyway.
It's got a pipe bomb. It's good.
Thanks for letting everyone know that security sucks in our building, Dr. Steve. Way to go.
So what this is this is a rectal rocket, and this is a mold, and this is how pharmacists make a rectal rocket. And the reason it's called a rectal rocket is because it's shaped like a rocket.
Simmer down, Jimmy.
And it is a...
How much of that could you take in your ass?
Oh, you take... Okay, well...
It looks like an oversized golf tee.
Exactly.
Right. It's an oversized golf tee. It's sort of vaguely rocket shaped. And what you do is you shove this thing up your ass, and then the base of it stays on the outside, and the neck of it stays on the inside. And now it's bathing that lesion with medication constantly. And so you have this thing. Now, you'll notice there's a slot down the edge of this thing. Can you guess what that's for?
Cream.
No, wait. Let me guess. A spicy substance.
So you can fart.
Yes, exactly. So
Is
you
it?
can pass flatus through this thing without shooting it out of your
hilarious.
Flatus.
Let's put them all in our asses and then try to fart.
Flatus.
And then it whistles too. So
I've
there
used
you
those
go.
before, except mine is the size of a lava lamp.
Is that what that's for? For flatus?
yeah, that's for
Yeah, it sounds like a
so
Roman
you can pass
name.
gas through this thing.
Flatus.
I am Flatus. Strength and honor.
Wow.
So there you go.
Have those been used before? Are they brand new?
No, these are brand new.
Can I see one?
Yeah, sure.
Can I have one?
Yeah.
Because I have a pain in my asshole. How do I know if I have a lesion
Well,
on my
now
asshole?
these are not medicated. This is rubber. These are just samples.
So
This would not be good for my asshole?
No.
So you
Why
put
not?
cream in the middle of it or something?
No. You make I'm sorry. These are made out of wax when you make the real ones, and you impregnate your medication in the wax, and then it's a wax with a very low melting point. So you shove it up, and it starts to melt, and it lets
How long does
the
it stay in
medication out. Until it melts.
How long does it take to melt one of those down? Right.
And some people say there is no God.
I may have a lesion in my
You can
butt.
make them with different melting point waxes as well, but the compounding pharmacists make these.
All right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We got people that need help. Medical questions for Dr. Steve.
Sure.
We got Chris in Boston. Chris.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
Chris,
morning.
I'll help you.
So my mother, she's 70 years old. She refuses
Pillow.
to get any type of CAT scan or MRI. She wakes up in the morning with face pain.
Oh.
Her face is in excruciating pain.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah, It could. I mean, it's difficult to make a diagnosis just based on that information, but there is a thing. Google a thing called trigeminal neuralgia.
Fuck, I'm not Googling that.
How the fuck am I going to spell that?
Thank you,
just
Chris.
Email me, weirdmedicinexm@gmail.com.
And he loves dick pics. He doesn't want to say it. I understand, but I'm trying to help my friend out. He loves a good dick pic.
Thanks, pal.
All right.
So, but what it is there's a nerve in the face that is got a pretty interesting design because the nerve itself has to pass through a hole in the skull. And when it does that, sometimes if it gets irritated, the nerve will expand and the skull can't expand. So now it cuts off the circulation to that nerve and causes excruciating pain.
So that's what she has.
And there are medications that can treat that as well. There's an anti-seizure medication called carbamazepine that works like magic on some of those people. And she needs to get seen. She doesn't have to live that way.
It doesn't mean something really bad is going to happen.
No, not necessarily.
I think that's what Chris is worried about.
She's not having like many strokes or anything. It's just, right?
Yeah, no, well, I don't know, but many strokes usually don't manifest as facial pain. So, there's a few things that can. I mean, she could have a dental issue or something like that, but one of the more common things of excruciating pain in the face is this trigeminal neuralgia. Now, I've seen them test for it, and it's pretty gruesome. They take a needle that's about this long. That's
4 inches?
4 inches. And they will shove it up under the lip and try to hit right at the cheekbone and with numbing medication. And if the pain completely goes away, that's diagnostic. That's one way to make the
Beautiful.
Also, there's another thing you're forgetting is a checker pillow for rocks.
Well, there's that, James.
Makes sense.
All right, Chris, thank you, brother.
I mean, sometimes the easiest explanation.
Go Pats.
You can't take a
Taking
punch.
a peek now at the Pats. Dennis in Massachusetts. Dennis.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Dr. Steve, about 5-6 years ago, I noticed these tiny little spots on my upper lip, like little white spots. I think they're Fordyce or something like that.
Fordyce spots.
What's Fordyce? Fordyce.
I'm over here now. I'm on your face
better
now.
already. How the hell do you get rid of them?
What are they? What are dice spots?
About 20 minutes.
Fordyce spots are what we call ectopic glands, and they're little oil glands that are not supposed to, or that are growing in a place where they're not supposed to be. And you'll see them on the scrotum. Like if you see someone's scrotum,
I'm not gonna see that shit on my scrotum.
and it's got
It's true, but on the bridge of your nose, baby.
Wait a minute.
little yellow, sort of yellowish dome-like dots, and those are Fordyce spots.
Do they
You can
smell?
See them on the penis too. No, if you open one up, it's got a little bit of oil in it, so it could be a little
Oh,
smelly.
it's cool. Michael, it could be nice, the peppermint.
And yes, the best place to go on the lip would probably be a dermatologist, and they may just laser those off for you. Easy to get rid of.
Oh, it's an easy one, huh?
But people look at it sometimes if they're on the genitalia and wonder if someone's got an STD, and it's not.
Yeah, I have this. It's about the size of a pomegranate, just underneath the helmet. It's red and smells faintly of cinnamon, and it tastes sweet. Is that bad?
No, totally normal.
Okay,
You're fine.
Yes.
We should have fucking did what the hell is that with you? We got lazy. We should have got people to come in with their stuff. Jesus. Oh, jeez. Lady Trucker.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello, LT.
Hey, Steve. I got a question for you.
Dr. Steve.
Yes, LT.
I quit having my period 3 years ago, and I'm just wondering how long are these stupid hot flashes going to keep on going on?
Yeah.
You haven't had a period in 3 years?
Yeah, well,
That's
she's
right, Opie. You can fuck me and not worry about this.
Wow.
Not worried about one of those pesky erections.
nice.
I don't think he was worried at all.
Bravo to LT
Wow.
today.
Good
She
for
got
her.
me.
Yeah.
How long do the hot flashes?
It varies from person to
Last.
person, and it can go anywhere from 6 months to several years. And Lady Trucker's stopped producing eggs, so she has got a deficit of estrogen in her body. And so she's going through menopause, or has gone through menopause, and the hot flashes are a really annoying symptom of that. But it's more of an annoyance than anything else. But it can be very lifestyle changing for a lot of women. So
should we just get rid of them though?
Well,
if they're not producing,
oh, they mean the women or the hot flashes?
Yeah, no, the women. I mean, if they're not producing eggs anymore, what use are they on this planet, Dr. Steve? I read your journals.
I don't. Anyway,
unclean.
You can.
What? Or maybe she's just eating too much spicy food.
Well, we used to put every woman who went through menopause on estrogen.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in a volcano.
Then we found that estrogen had a subtle increase in the number of cases of breast cancer in women that were on estrogen. So you can still use it, but you only want to use it for people who are symptomatic and can't be treated any other way. There are other medications you can use for the hot flashes, but estrogen is still probably the most effective. So they recommend now, if you're going to treat somebody, to do it for the shortest amount of time possible. Give them what we call a drug holiday, which means not what you think, but rather that we stop.
Yeah.
Exactly. That we stop the drug after 6 months to a year and see if the hot flashes have gone away.
How long does each hot flash last? Like, is it 5 minutes or a half hour?
I'll ask her.
LT?
Sometimes they'll just come on suddenly. Sometimes you just look at my face and it looks like a thermometer just going up. It'll just be like,
what is it?
Sometimes just the whole body is just hot for, I don't know, like a half a minute or a minute. Where I'm lucky I'm a truck driver because I can just open the window in the wintertime and crank up the AC in the summertime.
So it's an uncomfortable hotness, is what the women feel, Dr. Steve?
Yeah. And do you sweat as well, Lady Trucker, when it happens?
No,
or you just feel flushed?
I haven't sweat. I just feel flushed.
Yeah. It's very uncomfortable.
Have the guys take have the guys take some ice and they can experience that.
That's a good point.
No, that's not a good point. I don't feel like experiencing that.
Well, but I
can understand it.
Niacin is a drug that can cause hot flashes as well. But
okay,
when you take estrogen, you're going to increase your risk. 1 in 11 women will get breast cancer, and it'll increase that by about 1 in 10,000. So the absolute risk for the woman is low, but the risk for society is large. If you multiply 1 in 10,000 times 150 million women, then you're talking about a lot of excess cases of estrogen related breast cancer. So we try to minimize people's exposure to it as much as possible. LT, if you'll email me, I'll send you an article about non-estrogen ways of taking care of hot flashes.
All right.
Why do the Japanese not have a word for menopause? Do the women not experience it?
Is that true?
That's what I heard.
Oh,
I have no idea.
Whoa, look at that.
Let's look that up,
Bartlett.
Sam Roberts.
You know what they do? They just point to Hiroshima on a map.
Yeah, maybe they don't want hot flash. Right.
She having, and they point and go, oh, we understand.
It looks like the Japanese word for menopause is heiki.
You can read that shit?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Let me see.
This looks like rooftops to me.
That's haiku, not heiki.
Heiki.
Yes.
Heiki.
My wife, cranky, she scream at me. I go home.
She scream at me, heiki.
Fuck yeah, wordplay, you Yeah, I said Dr. Chipperson starts again.
Should we go with hydrocell? What's hydrocell?
That's what you do if you don't want no one to steal your cell.
Stacy.
That was terrible.
That was great.
Stacy.
That was a bad bomb.
I was diagnosed back last year. I had a hydrocele.
Oh, hydrocele.
Oh, hydrocele.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I had it drained 4 to 5 times, then wound up having the surgery done to correct it. But I never could get either one of the doctors to tell me exactly what caused it.
Okay. Well, that's because they don't know. Hydrocele is a collection of clear fluid in the tissues lining the genitalia in the scrotum. So there's a clear lining that goes around the testicles and the cords that are in there, and you can get a blooping out. All of these things have a fibrous outer layer and an elastic inner layer. And when the fibrous outer layer splits, it's just like Rob and I are about the same age when we had bikes that had inner tubes, and the inner tube and the outer tube would split. You'd see that blooping out of the inner tube. And it's the same thing in ganglion cysts in the wrist, and also diverticula in the colon, these little pockets that bloop out. The mechanism is the same. And in the scrotum, you get a collection of clear fluid, and it's called a hydrocele. And one of the ways that you can diagnose it yourself at home is to take a flashlight and put it behind your testicle, and if it glows pink or red like E.T.'s finger, then it's a collection of clear fluid, and that pretty much makes the diagnosis.
But what happened now? What's the better option if it doesn't glow like that? Like if you put the light there and
then it
burns your scrotum.
Right.
It just makes pretty slides on the wall.
Hey, we've all done the flashlight thing, though.
Yeah.
And if it's not clear, if it's opaque, then it's not a hydrocele, and it needs to be evaluated by a urologist. Hydrocele should be anyway. If it's big enough that you can feel it and it makes you uncomfortable, if it makes intercourse uncomfortable, or if it's growing, then they can remove these. Most of my urologist friends say draining them doesn't do very much because it always comes back.
And it doesn't like, well, I went 4 times and had it drained, and then finally went to a urologist, and he cut me open and fixed it.
So your primary care provider is the one that drained it the 4 times?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I think most urologists.
You should have just sucked it out.
Well, that's the problem. It doesn't work that way.
Oh.
And when you drain these things, they just tend to grow back. So.
Like you fill your swimming pool.
All right. I think that's it for you there, Stacy.
All right. Thanks a lot.
We got one more before the break, and then he's got some apparatus there. We got Rob Bartlett. He's got a gig to plug. We got lots to do still. Tom in Alabama. He has an STD or something. Tom, you there? Oh. All right, he's gone. Where are you going to be, Rob Bartlett?
I'm going to be at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Nice.
This Saturday night. The start of the Christmas show tour. And
really?
Yeah, and then we're going to be at Seven Angels Theater in Waterbury, Connecticut, December 7th, and December 14th, we're at Levity Live.
Who's we?
Well, Tony Powell is going to be with me on the 7th.
Okay,
and the
cool.
14th.
It's smart for you guys to tour together.
Very good.
So we're doing that together on the 7th and 14th, but this Saturday it's just going to be me.
And how do they find out about your dates?
They can go to themusichall.org, or they can go to robshow.com.
Robshow.com.
Or they can
we'll have all your dates, right?
Tweet me at TheRobio, the Robio.
The Robio. And we got Weird Medicine in studio. So we're going to take a break, Dr. Steve.
Okay.
And then we'll do the apparatus thing.
Sure.
And more of your phone calls. We'll go Ferguson, and we'll also go medical questions. So stay there. Man, you weren't kidding. I didn't have time.
We're at work.
What?
We're at work.
I'm socializing. Can't we do this another time? I'm socializing with Rob. I haven't seen him in a while.
I understand. We're at work.
We're catching up on the kids and the jobs and being Long Islanders.
Yeah.
And maybe the New York Islanders.
Yeah, they're both the Islanders.
I got survivor guilt.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel having this great team right in front of me after all these years of shit.
Yeah.
People are like, why aren't you talking about the Islanders? I truly think I have survivor guilt. I think it's their best start in the history of the franchise.
Wow.
Or the last 15, I don't know, something.
And
it's very impressive.
Their last season at the
season at the Coliseum, yeah. Yeah. I'm not sad about that.
No.
I just wish they would have got another brand new arena, for Long Island instead of moving it to Brooklyn. I don't know how that's going to work out in the end with the hardcore fans that have to travel a far distance now to
a lot of train rides
to support their fucking team. A lot of yeah, but it's more than one train ride. That's the problem.
I know.
Being from Long Island, if like some I don't know, let's say Foghat's playing the Garden, it's one train ride. Mm-hmm. Boom, you're there. You go upstairs, you enjoy the show, and then you're back on the train back out to Long Island. This has nothing to do with FanDuel.com. My God. Is there anything better than watching football on Thanksgiving, Rob?
No.
Jim would say there's better things.
Yeah?
He would. And you should say there are better things.
There
but
are better things.
What are better things than watching football on Thanksgiving?
Pumpkin pie.
I hate pumpkin. You like pumpkin pie?
Yeah.
For real?
It's tradition, yeah.
All right.
It's good for you.
Yes, playing special Thanksgiving Day only fantasy football games on FanDuel. Whoa, this sounds cool. I want to read about this. Pick only players from Thursday's games. Sit back and enjoy the holiday while winning some cash. Beautiful.
Sounds like a plan.
You run out of things to say to your family after an hour, so now you got something else to do.
15 minutes in, it's like, I'm going to nap.
I'm just glad we're moving the house this year, finally. So it'll look different. Go to the same house year after year, you're like, oh my God, it's truly...
We were just here.
It's Groundhog Day. It is, right?
Yeah.
You find yourself sitting in the exact same seat, having the exact same conversations. It's so strange for me.
Father-in-law's still drunk.
Although, but the kids coming up, next generation, you're noticing that the boobies are starting to grow in.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's different. You notice the boobies are growing in a little bit.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. You know,
not in a perverted way, but if you're...
the kids' table.
If you observe shit, you realize, whoa, there's some boobies are growing in since last year. Right, Dr. Steve? You could relate to that, right?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Okay. FanDuel.com, the leader in one-week fantasy football leagues. The money is real. Entry fees start at just $1. Play each week or whenever you want. Set a new lineup each week and win every week if you're good enough. Matt Nichols from Ohio turned, ready for this, $25 into over $25,000 playing fantasy football on FanDuel. Join him and hundreds of thousands of other users who already won money. Go to FanDuel.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, enter our show's promo code Opie. Sign up now and they'll match your initial deposit, dollar for dollar, up to $200. That's up to $200 free. New user special is ending soon. Offers only good for the first 50 people to sign up. So you got to do this now. Go to FanDuel.com, FanDuel.com, promo code Opie. That's promo code Opie, O-P-I-E, FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season.
Yeah, I lost money on that.
You did?
Yeah.
People need to believe they're going to win money.
No,
or they won't do
my
this
fault.
thing.
I played Lance Rensel.
Anyone? Okay. Busy room today. Rob Bartlett from Imus's show, Imus in the Morning, who seems to always support us, which is nice.
Yes. Big fans.
And we support him.
Big fans.
And we got Dr. Steve in studio.
How's Charles doing?
Nobody's heard.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Wow.
Nobody's heard from him.
No one heard from him?
No.
Was there bad blood when he left?
No. I just think he's a private person, and he's,
He finally had it. He left Imus after how many years?
I don't know, 60, 70, something like that.
How long? He's been gone 40? A couple of years now, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
He's been gone that long already?
No, maybe it's not that long. Maybe it's 3.
3 or 4 years?
Not more than 3.
And no one has heard from him. He just left. He said, I'm done.
I just heard from him when Fred died, but that was it.
Right. Well, yeah, that was a shame when Imus's brother died. Oh, wow. Yeah. So he's that private. He's like, I'm done with radio. Goodbye. Good luck to you guys.
So long, suckers.
And he lives in the middle of like nowhere, right?
He lives in Missouri. He's actually got a really great place on
Ferguson Boulevard. Right. Is it right next to that beauty shop that went up in flames last night? Jesus. You might want to, whatever. Okay. I'm technically a medical mystery. Oh, you want to learn? We got a medical mystery on the line.
Okay.
We have to do this one.
Sure.
Her name's Kayla from Los Angeles.
Oh, God. It's another woman with a penis. We have a name for that, Kayla.
It's not a mystery.
Hi.
Hi. So, Dr. Steve, about 5-6 years ago, I just randomly started having dizzy spells and nausea, and I would just throw up for like hours at a time. And I went and saw a primary care doctor, and he sent me to an ENT, and I did some tests, and he said I was diagnosed with Meniere's disease, but that he wanted to make sure. So they sent me to a specialist, and they ran a slew of tests for like a whole day, and then she told me at the end of it that I didn't actually have Meniere's disease, but I had all the same symptoms. And she told me that I was actually a medical mystery, and she wasn't sure what was wrong with me.
Isn't that vertigo or no?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, Meniere's disease is an interesting disease. It's disorder of the inner ear, and they get spontaneous episodes of vertigo, and sometimes they'll get nausea and vomiting with that. And what they probably did was look at the fluid in your inner ear to see if you were diagnostic for Meniere's, and you weren't. So now you have all the symptoms of Meniere's disease, but not the diagnosis. And there are a couple other things that you could think about. There's this thing called cyclic vomiting syndrome, which is where people just have episodes of nausea and vomiting, can be sometimes associated with dizziness as well. These things are all treatable.
Watching bosses act.
Vertigo.
Oh.
Just remind me, I love this song. Go ahead, Dr. Steve.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Did they try treating you with the Meniere's drugs anyway?
Yeah, so they kind of keep me on constant Valium as I need it, and then I just take that vitamin, and I do low sodium diet and no caffeine at all.
Okay. Did they ever try you on a diuretic like Diazide or Maxide or hydrochlorothiazide?
Yeah, hydrochlorothiazide. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Place called Vertigo. That was the line.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's awesome, Hope.
What, you don't like me too?
Their version of Meniere's disease is much better.
Sounds so great.
Their version of Meniere's disease is much better.
Really?
Well, the thing about Meniere's is it just takes so long to diagnose.
I had something where I got like a yellow cast and black circles formed around my eyes. It was Meniere's disease.
Ow! So did we help her or what, Dr. Steve?
No.
Can't help her. That sucks.
No, well, we can help her. There's things that you can do to minimize it. See, they're already treating her as if she has Meniere's disease. Did it help? That's the question.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it helped, but I still have problems sometimes. I mean, as far as just like even with treating the symptoms, I still will just randomly, have episodes, and I'll just.
So, I mean, the trick with this kind of thing is to find something that will reduce the episodes, the frequency of the episodes, and then you've got to have something that will treat the episodes when they actually do happen. And that's where it sounds like they could try a few more things.
What's the blood spinning thing they do? Dana White had something where he was vertigo, he was getting sick, nauseous all the time, and he went to Germany and they do that. There's some blood spinning thing they do.
The blood spinning thing that I'm aware of is platelet enriched plasma. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. I'm not
for your joints.
Yeah, and it's that enriches your own anti-inflammatory components in the blood, and then you can be injected back in. I'm not aware of that being used for vertigo.
Well, maybe it was an ear problem that vertigo was a result of. Maybe it cured that. I don't know.
Now, Alan Shepard had Meniere's disease, and they cured him surgically, and he ended up getting to go to the moon after that.
Wow.
Was pretty cool.
Why would they take a chance on that?
I'd love to go to the
because
moon.
he wanted to go to the moon so bad, he said,
So
I'm
do
going to do
I.
this experimental surgery.
Fuck.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to email me, I'll send you some things that maybe they haven't looked at. We'll look at the medical literature. A great place for the newest treatments is on PubMed.org. Anybody can go there and search for novel treatments for the things that they have.
I notice you have all the hot women emailing you, but not the guy with the anal leakage, Dr. Steve. What's that about? What do you got going on, man?
All right,
Is this a
thanks, Dr.
front?
Steve.
Oh.
Okay, hey, email me, weirdmedicinexm@gmail.com.
I think we got, thank you, Keila.
Oh,
We
he
got,
did have Meniere's. Okay, it was stem cells or something that E-Rock said.
we got the STD guy back, I think. Tom in Alabama.
Yes. Good morning, gentlemen. How you
All right,
doing?
this is your last chance,
Hello,
okay?
Thomas.
Let's do this.
Okay, buddy. All right, look here. This is the question I got. I'm 57. My girlfriend's 48.
Two.
Doctor says she's got HPV. Is this going to bother me? I don't like using condoms. Is it going to affect me as far as eating or fucking?
Yeah, here's the thing. HPV is human papilloma virus. I'm assuming they found it on a pap smear. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, so human papilloma virus, some of the subtypes of that are are known to cause cervical cancer. And they can also cause head and neck cancer and penile cancer. So this is one of those things. They can subtype her HPV and tell you if it's one of the ones that you have to worry about. But there is a small but measurable transmission from female to male. And, there's a possibility that you could contract it as well. Now, so many people have HPV that it is basically almost something we could consider normal at this point because the prevalence in the population is very high.
Well, do they classify this as a STD? Because I mean, like gonorrhea, syphilis is considered an STD.
Right.
When you got it.
Yes.
You go to the health clinic, you got to tell everybody you got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's a virus that you can get sexually, so yeah, it's an STD in that regard. And it's one that the human body can clear HPV from time to time. I used to have plantar warts all over my feet, and those were caused by a variant of HPV. Or a subtype of HPV, and thank God. And listen, I was 8, and so this would have been
warty foot.
old warty foot. I was 8, and this was 50 years ago. So one of the things that the doctor proposed to my mom was, well, a painless way to do this would be to use radiation to kill those warts. Jeez. So I came really, really close to ending up having ionizing radiation to my feet, which would have put me at a much higher risk of having a solid tumor later in life.
Sure.
So thankfully, my mom was a sadist, and she went for the needles in the bottom of the foot and cutting them out with scalpels.
Where were the warts?
At the bottom of my feet. Plantar warts. Yeah.
So you must have had really great traction.
right.
How many did you have?
Yeah. Oh, just you couldn't count them. But the thing is, when I went through puberty, the warts went away. But my body's immune system finally woke up to the fact that these HPV viruses were foreign bodies, and it went in and killed them. And that can happen to people with genital HPV too. It's just that, particularly in men, if they don't have warts, you can't tell.
Right. Plantar warts on your feet. Ugh. Sounds terrible. Bad for. Do adults ever get that?
Yeah, sometimes.
Bunch of plantar warts.
Yeah.
Doing a foot fetish.
We got Mike Francesa. He's got a medical question.
Okay.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Hi.
All right, thank you, sir. Mikey.
Good morning, Dr. Steve. I have a problem. Maybe you can help me with. Okay.
Okay.
I've been calling this radio show for 3 or 4 years already. Okay. And they gave the hotline to some hillbilly hip. Now, I seem to be lacking in self-esteem and respect, okay? Is there any kind of pill? I also really like painkillers, okay? This is something I don't feel. Yeah, okay? Because they frown upon it on the fan, okay? So maybe you can write me a script, I'll hold off air, okay? Preferably with some Oxycontins, okay? And the hotline number as well, okay? And I'll hold off for the hotline number. Okay?
Well, shit, I have the hotline number, and now that Chucky has it, too. So
yeah, Chucky's got it.
He's all right.
Oh, they handed it out. Okay, oh, that's good. Okay. Well,
Chucky says the N-word. That gets people listening.
No, I told you
that, Mike.
This is the Todd Show calling. I gotta go.
It's nice to hear you awake.
Yeah, you're not Mike.
What do we got? We got the apparatus, and we got your family outside, I heard.
Oh, are they here?
And you're giving out pens today or something?
I just brought some pens. I got some other shit, too.
Thanks. What great Christmas gifts you brought.
I know, well.
Dr. Steve rules.
See, one of my partners on my show is a traditional Chinese medical specialist, and he sort of helps me keep the alternative medicine wackos off of my case. But he has some stuff. He has some uppers and some downers that are made in the traditional Chinese medical thing. It's the Elvis concoction.
Do they work?
And well, he says they do, but you can check them out at simplyherbals.net, or as I like to say, simplyherballs.net. There you go.
You don't believe in the alternative medicine, huh?
No, I do. To a point. Look, here's if there's evidence, then I'm all for it. And most of these things can be studied. This is the problem I have with so many things that are out there that are quote unquote supplements, is that they haven't been studied in a rigorous way. Now, look at glucosamine. Glucosamine used to be quote-unquote alternative medicine, and now just about every orthopedist will use it for people with arthritis because they did double-blind placebo-controlled studies that showed that there's some effect with fewer side effects than ibuprofen. So, it's become mainstream. And I'm all for mainstreaming stuff because in Western medicine, we don't obviously know everything. But my friend, the acupuncturist, is not going to be curing stage 4 cervical cancer with T cells like we just did recently at Johns Hopkins. So this is, my friend can make people feel better. Western medicine is really good at drilling down into the science. And this was a real case. Lady with stage 4 cervical cancer, terminal diagnosis. They took her T cells out, exposed them to the tumor proteins and injected them back in, and they went in and just cleaned up every bit of tumor that she had. She's walking around cancer-free today.
Is that a new concept?
Yes, and the age of chemotherapy is rapidly getting ready to be overtaken by the age of immunotherapy, and I think most of the oncologists out there will be immunologists in the next 25 to 50 years.
When do you think we'll have a real grasp on getting rid of cancer?
Well, it's coming. I used to say 100 years. And then they cured a multiple myeloma case with measles vaccine, and then we cured this lady with advanced cervical cancer using her own immune cells. So I'm not saying 100 years anymore. I think it probably won't help me, but it will help my kids, and it will certainly help their kids.
It will help me?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, what do you got in there? Looks like you got some candies.
Well, you remember last time?
That's little baby penises.
There's another box of cocks.
Why do you got a bag of baby penises?
Right, where do you get one?
Bag of.
Do they sell them anywhere?
Yeah. I bought these. I bought these from a medical supply
look
place.
at that.
These are
whole bag of goodies.
Hold on,
it's a bag of penises.
Oh,
hold on, hold these up. I got
Can I get them in my stocking, Santa?
I gotta tweak the bag.
Give me one. Give me one. Get your hands off that, Dr.
Penis
Steve.
Wait. Hold on.
Boy.
Weirdo.
There you go. Infant penis, Sam.
Thanks.
So,
yay.
We know that people have to learn how to
make these things stand up straight.
No.
Yay.
Yeah.
How
tickle them. What you cool?
I'm speechless. How do you teach someone to do a circumcision? And circumcision is something we can talk about. I used to be more of a proponent of circumcision than I am now. Yeah. And when I was in training, I was kind of brainwashed into doing
I know how to do it. You use your teeth and you stripe it like a candy cane.
This is an infant pelvis with an uncircumcised penis.
Boy, look at this. Where do you get one of these?
Oh.
Hello. Look, there's no head for tattling.
Jesus.
The prop makes it too real.
Yeah, it's just
could you put little shoes on them?
It's just a torso. Well, hang on, and I brought here's the instruments that are used. This is a Gomco clamp.
A what?
A Gomco clamp that is used for doing a circumcision.
Heedle. Yeah, you got to clamp the little weenie.
This is the one that the Moyles use. This is called a Mogan.
Yeah, Mogan. What's this clamp there? This is so if it tickles when you're kissing it, they can't move.
I'm not talking to you, Uncle Paul. So, but this is the clamp that is used to take the skin off. Now we're running out of time, so we don't have to do a circumcision.
I want to see. Go ahead, let's do it.
But this is one of these things. There is a medical benefit, possibly, to doing this in small number of people. There's a small number of people who will benefit from having a circumcision. These are people who are at high risk for penile cancer, or people who have a foreskin that can't be retracted. The infantile circumcision is the only cosmetic surgery that we do on children or on a patient without their consent. And culturally, it's very common, but I'm just losing my brain here because
me too. It's hard to talk with a boner.
God. But now the argument we used to have. Let me get somewhat back on track. I
just want to know why you have that and why they didn't arrest you at the
where
airport.
do you get them?
That looks like it would be highly illegal.
Sure,
well, last time I was here, we did the simulated prostate exam.
Yeah, but at least it looked like an adult. That is, wow.
Yeah, I wanted to show you. This is how they teach people how to do a circumcision in real life.
It's a yummy bag, they call it. Full of yummy treats.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. I'm tweeting
I used to just practice on the cat.
Yeah, it's like trail mix. You just kind of throw some in your mouth while you're watching a ball game.
Well, I thought you might enjoy seeing a bag Opie.
Yeah, it's marvelous.
We certainly are enjoying it.
The argument used to be the reason we do this on infants is because it's so painful to do as an adult. Now, Sam Roberts had phimosis, and he had an adult circumcision, and I think he can attest to the fact that it didn't feel good afterward.
Yeah.
No, it was painful.
How painful was it?
It was so painful.
Yeah, he curled his hair up.
But they, one of the guys on my show had an adult circumcision recently, and they've got a new process for doing this that is much less painful. And this guy, he played softball right after having his circumcision, and went to work the next day.
Wow, I was on the couch for like a week.
Yeah, so it's
lazy.
So that takes one more argument away from the idea of doing this on infants. I'm not saying. Look, the last time I brought this up, someone asked me what the American Academy of Pediatrics stand was on circumcision. I tweeted out the link, and I got 5 days of angry tweets from these people that call themselves intactivists.
Intactivists?
Yes, they are anti-circumcision lobby, and they are very vocal. And so I always have to be very careful what I say about circumcision.
Can I get your extra bag of Peeps? I want to have a couple of these bags.
Oh, look at what this one's
for
called.
Later.
This one's called a NASCO Whirl Pack of Penises.
Yeah, Whirl Pack. So what do you do with this?
How do you
show me how you do that?
Do you want to do that? We can do it.
Circumcise that baby.
Yeah, but it's not the real thing, so who cares?
This is minus the blood and the screaming.
Yeah, and the kisses after.
Jesus.
Make everything better.
So basically, you have these things called mosquito clamps.
Right. Can you move the box so I can see the baby penis?
Sure, I was just thinking that.
That can be used out of context.
I say that when there's a woman standing there.
You grab the foreskin at 10 and 2 with these clamps.
Yeah.
Right.
And you kiss at 6.
Oh, shit.
Oops. Well, that's not good.
Good thing you're not a rabbi.
What do you think, Rob?
I don't know.
This is a little strange, huh? I don't think Imus would bring in the bottom half of a baby.
You must almost hurt the baby.
Now,
it's just barbarism.
Now you can do what's called a penile block, which is where you stick a needle in the base of the penis to numb it up. And I can attest that those kids, a lot of times will not cry as much.
So why don't they do that on all circumcision?
Well, I think they are. Most places, that's how they're training people to do it.
But how come the Moyle didn't do it when I went?
Now, see, if the Moyle isn't an MD, they may not be allowed to.
How are you allowed to cut a cockhead if you're not an MD?
I don't know.
It's fucking stupid religion.
And the baby screamed, right? Bloody murder?
Yes.
So
I can't imagine
terrible.
You get in here and you get all of the adhesions. You take care of all of those, and this stupid clamp is terrible. Oh no! And I've ripped the foreskin off.
Be careful.
You're being a little rough with this.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're throwing away the flavor.
Now. Okay, so once you've got all of the adhesions done, you take off the clamp.
Is there a reason why we need to learn how to do this?
No, not at all.
That's good to know.
Okay. Fuck it.
No, go ahead.
Show it in case you get
in
case you get pulled over. You can explain what you're doing.
All right, then you grasp the foreskin.
We'll humor you with your fetish. Keep going.
Some French
Are my kids here? They might as well come in and see this. They might as well see what we did to them. Because I did.
All right, yeah. Why don't you bring? Hold on. Let's bring in Dr. Steve's kids.
Hold on. No, because then I can't talk.
Hold on. Don't do it.
Okay.
I want to meet Dr. Steve's two boys.
Oh, that looks painful, man.
Are they here?
So then you pull that out like that, you snip it.
Yes, Kenny.
Ah, the cop.
You're not even wearing mask and a gloves.
Mask and a gloves? Fucking, you wrong pluralizing zilch.
But you dressed up like a doctor. Put a mask and gloves on. And where's your white coat?
Penis, Kenny?
I have one, thank you.
This one's unclipped.
Hi, kids.
Hello, boys. And that's...
What? Yeah, get on the mic.
Get on mic? You can get on mic.
You see what your dad's up to?
No, I could.
Huh? You see what your dad's up to?
Oh yeah, he's cutting babies' penises.
Yeah. Does he ever do that in the basement?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Hello, Mr. Beck. This is Beck and Liam.
Hi.
Hi.
What do you think?
What?
That's a little weird, isn't it?
Oh,
This is your Uncle Greg. Oh. And this is your Uncle Paul.
Hi.
Okay.
So he's going to do this in front of you, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
How old are your boys?
They are 9 and 11.
9 and 11, okay.
So the Mogan clamp is slipped over the foreskin. And see, you guys, you had this done to you.
I know.
How do you feel about that we did that without asking you if it was okay?
Well,
are you okay with it?
Yeah, it looks weird otherwise.
Fair enough.
How do they know it looks weird otherwise, Dr. Steve? You might want to
hold one up. It was gross.
You're just showing your kids penises?
Well, I showed him the... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a healthy discussion from a doctor. Yeah,
sure.
Right. So the clamp is inserted over the foreskin, and then you add a little traction. And then what you want to make sure is with the Mogan clamp, we call this the tip snipper because sometimes you can get the tip of the glands caught in the blades. Oh. So you have to you take the thing and you make sure that you're wiggling and that the penis underneath is free.
Does that hurt if it gets caught?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then you have like a flat edge to your penis. And then you,
Wow.
Just butchered that baby.
Yeah, I did. The leg came off. What the?
Yeah, then you close the clamp and then the penis falls off. So
That's
there you go.
just
That's a horrendous,
agonizing.
that's a really terrible circumcision right there. But anyway, so that's how it's done in general.
Huh? What are you going to say?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then the Gomco clamp can also be used to do this, too. This is what a lot of OBGYNs... The OBGYNs, when I was in training, were the ones that did circumcisions. It was the only time that they would touch a male patient would be to do a circumcision. And so now a lot of the pediatricians are doing it.
Okay. A couple more phone calls for Dr. Steve. Let's go to Brad in Boston. Brad.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
I have a really quick question for you, Dr. Steve. My question is I never had the ability to come at all or orgasm until I was probably about 25, and then it was so irregular that it just me and my wife just never ever expected it. Probably happens once out of every 100 times that we have sex.
Okay.
And so we're trying to have a kid now, and then I'm going to the urologist right now, and then my testosterone is so down that he put me on Clomid, which doesn't work, unfortunately. He hasn't got it up. And so he has not put me on any other testosterone at all. But my thing is I've been going to a massage place, and it just happened to turn into a rub and tug place kind of a thing, and I can get it out, the orgasm out every single time, but it's flaccid. And I'm wondering, do you think it's a viable way to collect sperm at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and have they done a sperm count on you?
They have not, because I have never had the ability to give a sample.
Okay. Now, when you say that you don't have an orgasm, are you saying that you don't have the feeling or you don't ejaculate?
Yeah, like the test that the urologist did was, where they put that little electronic thing to see if you have any feeling down there. I was a severe case where I don't get much feeling off the tip of my penis.
Okay.
And they think that was actually from circumcision gone wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I never orgasm when I have sex, baby.
Right, but he's having some fluid coming out at the massage parlors, Dr. Steve.
Right. Well,
is your wife okay with that?
She doesn't know. So that's the thing. First, my question was if it's viable, okay, and then I could probably talk the masseuse into, collecting the sample.
Yeah.
The second thing is by going on like an Andro 1.5 or something like that, do you think that'll give me the ability to stain something or no?
Well, here's the problem. If you want to stay fertile, testosterone replacement isn't the way to go, because that's why they want you using the Clomid. Clomid is a hormone to the testicle that causes the testicle to wake up and start to produce its own sperm and a testosterone. Whereas if you take testosterone, it basically shuts down the testicle so that it's not making sperm or testosterone anymore. So for people who want to remain or keep their fertility, Clomid is the way to go. There are other things that they can use other than Clomid now, but that's the main one. Probably the reason you're having trouble with your wife is that you've been doing this for hundreds of times, and your body is just trained to not orgasm with your wife at this point. Whereas, it's just become a habit. Whereas when you're in some other place, there's a little bit of a psychological advantage, and it's a little more titillating and exciting, and therefore you're able to complete it. However you get that fluid to impregnate your wife that'll remain between us. But I think however you can get it is. I
don't know what he's supposed to bring it home in a baggie or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I had to give a semen sample once, and I just went to the bathroom in the hospital, which was lovely. And then the door on the thing didn't work, and somebody barged in on me while.
And that helped you?
Yeah.
You got a helping hand, did you?
One more question. The urologist wants to do electro ejaculation.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Is that like that painful, or?
It's uncomfortable from what people tell me. It's electrostimulation. What they're going to do is they're going to basically use a cattle prod to get him to ejaculate.
Oh, that's true.
It's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, man, feel free to email me, too. I'll send you some info.
All right. He hung up. Let's say hi to James in New York. James?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, man.
So I was wondering if you guys saw that Bizarre Foods episode where the grandfather of the kid in Africa ate his grandson's foreskin after circumcision.
Why?
I have no idea.
They usually have the best customs there. I'm surprised to hear of one that's...
I did not hear that. What would you put on that, you think?
A little hot sauce.
You gotta go hot sauce? Gotta go hot sauce?
Yeah, absolutely.
And deep fried?
Deep fried.
Yeah. Got deep fried, I'm guessing.
Some crackling bread.
Sure. All right, sir.
Check it out.
I think we're going to start wrapping up because we get to start our holiday.
Right.
We're going to not be here tomorrow.
Oh,
awesome.
Awesome.
Right? Did we do it? Anything else you need to say, Dr. Steve?
No.
You want to play with your baby penises a little longer, or are you good?
No,
good for now?
I'm good, yeah.
You sure?
That didn't. Yeah, that wasn't as awesome as I thought it would be, but there you go.
It was good.
No, of course it was awesome.
Very informative.
Rob Bartlett, thanks for stopping in, man. We don't get to see you often because you're usually on at this time.
That's right. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and I actually got to meet Dr. Steve in person. It was a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Listened to him for all these years, and
yeah, likewise.
Gave him a whole bunch of fake phone calls.
Right.
You know, it was a lot of fun.
We should have you do it. Maybe we don't have the staffing. You should do like a live thing for us tomorrow on our channel with phone calls or something. We'll figure it out after the show's over. Dr. Steve says, hell no, I'm in New York. On vacation, fuck you. I got it.
I got
Statue of Liberty. He's got the fuck you.
I got 1 day of radio out of my wife, and that's
it. And then the rest is like family time.
Yeah.
You're doing the parade, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard you got a good spot.
Roland got us some tickets in the VIP section. I really appreciate Roland doing that. He had a friend at Macy's, apparently.
Is the weather going to be good?
I don't know.
Is it going to
Doesn't matter.
It's supposed to be really cold, but not. It's supposed to snow tomorrow and then be cold.
Tomorrow's going to be ugly, but we'll clear up
I
for
heard
the parade.
it's in mid-40s. We can handle that.
All right. Okay. Bartlett, where are you going to be?
Oh, this Saturday night at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Nice.
RobShow.com or themusichall.org. And December 7th, I'm at the Seven Angels Theater with Tony Powell. And then with Tony again, December 14th at Levity Live.
Good to see you, Rob.
Thanks for having me.
And Jimmy's got some things.
Just Harrisburg in 2 weeks. Go to JimNorton.com. All the fans' photos are up. I was having website problems. They're fixed. So all the people who've come to my shows in the last couple weeks, your photos are up on my site.
Nice. And Dr. Steve does terrific radio.
Yeah.
Weird
Thanks,
Medicine.
Weird Medicine.
Where's it at these days?
10 p.m. on Saturdays Eastern on this channel, and replays at E-Rock's pleasure. I don't know when we're on.
E-Rock just doesn't care.
E-Rock, did you hear that slam?
It plays. Look, his dumb fans don't know that it's on demand. They can listen anytime.
Right.
So they're like, why isn't it on like 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning? It's just not anymore.
Right.
It's just not.
No.
But they can find it on demand, and then they can
Saturday,
play it whenever
Saturday
they want.
Whenever they want.
Saturday at 10 p.m. are the new episodes, and then it's on demand, and then it replays at various times throughout the week.
Whatevs.
A lot of fans saying they can't find half this shit. What do they do?
It's under Sirius XM Talk. They haven't updated to Opie Radio yet.
All right, well,
but everything is there.
All right, if you go to Sirius XM Talk, you'll find all our programming.
Just search by show title.
And
That's it.
The show with Ron Bennington was so terrific that it's being rebroadcast on Friday. That should drive Fezzi nuts.
That goes without saying.
It's going to it'll be rebroadcast on
He'll
Friday.
handle it okay.
You think he'll handle it
Yes.
okay? All right.
And a big day of radio on Thursday, too.
What?
Because you got the Opie Radio Best of the Guests Thankful for Rolling Christmas special in the morning.
Right.
And then the Ron Bennington, Ron and Fez Comedy Christmas Thanksgiving special in the afternoon.
Fez was part of that?
It's a Ron and Fez show.
Okay. So Ron hung out and ate some turkey with some comics in front of a live audience?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard it. It went really well, and we're going to have that on our channel Thursday. Very good. All right, guys. Happy holiday. Dr. Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you later tonight.
Yep.
And
why?
We're going to hang out a little bit.
He's getting circumcised.
And they're probably going to just come over and have pizza with my kids.
Sounds fun.
Are they going to be bored hanging out with a 4 and a 2?
No, that'll be all right.
Really?
That's my life.
They want to see
ugly girls.
A penthouse apartment in the sky, so they're going to be very excited about that.
What time is pizza?
Oh, boy, they're going to be disappointed.
On my way.
It's for whoever?
Yeah, pizza.
You can come over.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Come on over.
Jimmy might come over, too. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Yes, the only show that tricks guests into staying by just starting. It's the after show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
no, you're doing it. And
damn.
Rob Bartlett's still here. Dr. Steve is still here, and I've got even better news. Look whose coat is behind me. Somebody's not getting back into this studio without doing this show. Opie is not gone yet.
A little Thanksgiving Day present for the Samster.
That's right. Dr. Steve, you are really bad at circumcising babies.
I'm the worst.
Yeah. Have you ever circumcised a real baby?
Yeah, a whole bunch of times. No, I was pretty good at it at the time, but it was so funny. I just brought this stuff basically to get Jim going with the Uncle Paul character, and I found myself getting so nervous.
Because Paul was there?
I don't know. It was that, and I want to make sure that the intactivists don't come after me after that.
It's too late for that now. Right after I tweeted that picture.
But my opinion on infant circumcision has changed quite a bit since this new procedure came out. That if you want to have a circumcision, you can have it when you're an adult, and you can go to work the next day.
So your guy that you do a show with.
Yes, his name is Jefferson the Shyster. He's our legal representative.
And he went right back to work?
Yeah, went right back to work the next day.
How did they do it now?
Dude, he dropped trowel in our studio to show us, and it was a different kind of suture line than I've ever seen before. Did you have a suture line on yours?
I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry,
but
stitches.
I'm not. It sounds like you're trying to get me to show it to you, and I'm not comfortable with that.
No, it was stitches.
Yeah, I think he had stitches.
The skin of the shaft went right up to the glands, and there was a suture line going all the way around, and he had no pain whatsoever from that.
How did it look? Pretty?
Yeah, it looked good.
Hey,
looked
Rob
really
Bartlett, how's your suture line?
It's a little to the left.
It is, okay.
It kind of looks like the map of Yugoslavia.
Okay, all right. Still nice, though, right?
Yeah, still nice.
Still does the trick.
Yeah.
Well, whoever did mine screwed my circumcision up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, totally screwed it up.
That's because you got yours at a gas station.
That's right. I had.
Maybe they didn't get the kit before you came in.
No, I don't know what they did, but I had these residual little flaps of skin that were like tunnels. You could put a probe underneath the flap of skin. It was like a little tunnel, and I had 3 or 4 of them, and it would collect.
Like how big of
what
a
you would think it would collect.
Like you could put like a pencil in there.
Not a pencil, but like
a toothpick.
A toothpick, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and just
you had little skin pockets on your dick.
Yeah, and you could just put a toothpick in there and walk around and with.
Did you?
No, but you could.
You could.
Right.
You always knew that was an option.
Did you get that fixed?
Yes, I did get it fixed.
So did you have to go in? What'd you get resewn?
Yeah, what happened was they had to numb up my penis.
Yeah,
and then they put a clamp on the top of one of those bridges and then cut it, and then now it was a flap, right? And then they would cut the bottom flap off, and then they would sew up the 2 wounds that were left.
Jeez.
And so I had 12 stitches.
How old were you when you got it fixed?
50-something.
Oh, so it wasn't until much later.
Yeah, it was much later. Well, and then I kept reading things that said that, if you have entrapped smegma, then you're going to be at increased risk of penile cancer. And so I was one of those that made sense to do it.
So it wasn't aesthetic or...
No, nobody had ever noticed it or remarked on it.
There was never a smell coming from it?
No, but there was, whitish material that you could extrude out of it.
Oh, jeez. That's awful.
It's not bad. A Ritz cracker,
Yeah. And you spent 50 years with... Was it weird after... Like, all right, so you spent 50 years, this is just how life is lived, and then, you just now have a normal penis.
Right. Yeah,
was that a strange sort of sensation to be like, this is life now with...
Yeah, it was weird having stitches on it, and then, it is kind of strange looking at it, because for the longest time I thought it was normal. It wasn't until I went through medical school that I realized that this was an actual complication from a botched circumcision.
But things like that, Dr. Steve, they make us realize to appreciate the things in life that just exist. Because people like Rob Bartlett walk around with his Yugoslavian penis all day long. And it's just life. He doesn't appreciate it. No. It's not special to him.
Everybody's got something.
Yeah. Guys like me and you, Dr. Steve, we look at our penises and appreciate them. Do you appreciate your penis properly, Opie?
I'm not going to be part of this.
He doesn't want it. Why?
Of course I do. I got a fucking gift.
All right, good. Did you hear him?
Look, I can't even button all my buttons.
He said he's got a gift, and so of course he appreciates it.
I just can't. If I button all the buttons, it just hurts down there.
It does?
Yeah, it's just
like it's constrict. Oh my God! Look at that bulge.
Cuts up the circulation.
Yeah. Good for you. What a way to start the holidays.
I want to get that checked. Right there.
This thing?
Yeah, and you got a doctor in studio.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think that is, Dr. Steve?
A watch? Oh, that's nothing.
Nothing.
I just want to skip.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving time. Thanks for everything, man.
Let me give you a little massage.
Oh, look at that. Opie giving Rob Bartlett a massage
You
right
treat
after
the guests
all that
nice.
sexy talk.
Dr. Steve, I'll see you later. Tell Ann I said hi. Pacey and the
Oh, are you doing? Are you visiting Aunt's show?
Well, I can't go see Mommy and not go see Daddy at the holidays.
I was invited to do the show this week, but this is a bad week for me.
Why?
I'll be there soon.
What did you do today?
I finally got my first official invite to do the show.
You did?
Yes.
Oh.
This is a horrible week.
Because it's Thanksgiving week, of course.
He told me either Tuesday or Thursday, and I wrote it back. I go, "Is it Thursday Thanksgiving? I can't go."
Aunt's
and do
doing a show on Thanksgiving?
Sure, no. So I'm rescheduling.
But it's going to happen.
Yeah, why not?
It's huge. I mean,
this week is just a bad week.
That's very exciting.
But then, of course, you got everyone that has to spin that info now online.
What are they?
It's a bad week for me.
What's Thanksgiving? It's a bad week for everybody. It's literally the busiest week of the year.
Logic.
Yeah.
I'll see you later tonight.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight.
Bye, guys.
Like I don't think it's a bad.
The boys want pizza or pasta?
Get pizza.
Hamburgers, chicken wings. What do you
Pizza.
want? Pizza.
Sure.
Anything on the pizza?
We can't.
They love pepperoni,
How
but
do you Southern folk do it? What do you need on your pizza?
barbecue.
Ketchup.
Ketchup?
Little ketchup.
You want ketchup on your pizza, guys?
Ketchup on a biscuit. Call it a pizza.
A side of grits.
No, they eat
What? You
pepperoni.
don't know
Pepperoni. Plain pepperoni.
There it is.
Pepperoni. That's
what
it's
they
either
like.
plain or pepperoni. It can't be plain pepperoni.
That is preposterous. Maybe get a plain and a pepperoni, and we just make sure we have all our
There you
bases
go.
covered.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
On our side, they won't eat it.
Oh.
I can't get them to eat that stuff.
Huh?
You smoke pot?
Who? No.
The kids?
Them? No, not yet. He's at middle school. I wouldn't be
While the
surprised.
kids are playing, maybe we go off and smoke a little.
Oh, okay, sure. That'd be okay with you guys?
We're left.
What? All right. See you, man.
All right. See you guys later.
Staring right at their screens. Their dad was just talking about doing drugs, and they're just like, "Nah, I got this game I'm working on. I'm pretty close to winning." Well, look.
If we don't want them to pay attention to what we're saying, we just have them get out the iPods.
Look how angry this bird is. Oh, wow. Well, listen. I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving.
That's it.
Look, Rob, this is not a fabulous extravaganza that it once was.
It
If
used
you want
to be a fabulous extravaganza.
well, now people know. If they want Sam Roberts, they wait till Friday. Friday
So
at 3 p.m.
You withhold everything from these, and you drop the whole wad on Friday.
This is rambling. People come in here and they say, "I'm not going to give you anything." And good, don't. This is all this one big tease for Friday.
But call on Friday.
yeah. Well, Friday we got a whole bunch of stuff happening. Of course, Friday at 3 p.m. is Sam Roberts show on this channel.
You'll be hearing from me.
Yeah, I always appreciate the Rob Bartlett phone calls. Dr. Steve has a program called Weird Medicine that airs Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
Of course, both of our shows are also on demand whenever you want it. And I don't know why.
I got a podcast, too, on Riotcast.
Yeah, and it's two different shows, by the way.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And you
Completely
always learn
different.
something. No matter
Yes.
what show you listen to, you always learn something.
Dr. Steve's program is my wife's favorite show on the entire channel. Which
wow.
is, that's mean, I think, for me, because
because you have like six
yeah,
shows.
I've been trying and trying, and
I
it
feel
just doesn't
bad
work.
for Jimmy's
Advice show? Yeah, what's the problem? Well, listen, and Rob Bartlett, of course, where can they see you again?
This Saturday night, I'm going to be at the Music Hall in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
It's a good show. It's a very good show.
Sam's been there.
I recommend it. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Don't forget Thursday morning, Roland. If you thought his promo is terrible, wait till you hear him hosting the show. Roland is hosting Best of the Guests. Thankful for Roland.
Nice.
And then I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern. We have the Ron and Fez Christmas special on this channel, too. So it's going to be a fabulous day of programming. Thank you both for being here. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.